Alright, what's up everybody? I am here at virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway in test session mode, driving a cup car, bringing you an updated Charlotte custom setup. I had put one out several months ago and ran, I think, a 29.4 with it, but I was getting some feedback saying that the car was pretty loose on long runs and not real fun to drive as the tires wore, and I thought, you know what, I can probably do a little better than that. So came up with this setup, which still runs in the 29.4s, maybe a little lower in the 29.4s, but in the 29.4s, but it definitely performs real well on the long runs. I've made more than one fuel run with this car. Really doesn't offer to get loose on me at all on the long runs. Tire wear was excellent. That tire light never came on. I think I was still in the 30s at the end of the run. If I hadn't hit the wall there at the start of this one, I would have probably got into the 29.4s right there, but let's see if I can pull it off this time around. Once I get a decent lap here on video for you guys, I will talk about how I get around this place, and then we will go and show the setup and everything. Gotten high coming off a 4, that's probably going to kill this lap. Oh, no, that was 29.4, so not perfect, but still got me in that 29.4 range. I really feel like this setup's got a 29.3 in it. And like I said, it did not get loose at all. You could probably get a little more aggressive and loosen it up and maybe squeeze a little bit more speed out of it. Maybe go down on the wedge, up on the track bars a little bit and kind of squeeze a little more speed out of it, because it didn't give a hint of getting loose on me. So I think that's a good sign for the long run. But let's talk about getting around here, and then we'll go in and look at the setup. This is kind of the mark where I kind of say this is where turn 3 starts. Okay, right here at this Coca-Cola sign. I am starting to turn the wheel and arc it into the corner here, but I am still fully on the gas. Okay, I don't lift until I am here at this black sign that says, well, it says all kinds of stuff on it, but this black sign here at the wall. This is where I am lifting. You kind of got to turn the wheel pretty hard and try to get the car to work down to the bottom of the track. When the car works down to the bottom, you get back on the throttle, but you kind of, the phrase I use is you have to stay ahead of the car. You have to turn the car a little bit harder than what you need to for the section of the track you're in, because if you don't, it's going to drift up on you on exit. So I am here and I'm coming to the bottom, and I'm probably turning it more and more to the left, even though I'm already at the bottom, because I know it's going to come up on me as I exit. Then once I get through the corner and I start to come up off the bottom, I'm starting to straighten the wheel up, and I let the car drift out. If I let the car drift out to the wall, it seems like I can carry more momentum down the straightaway. And I'm going to drift up to the wall, and when I see this white Bank of America sign, this is the point where I am closest to the wall. When I am here, I want to say, okay, I've drifted as far out as I want. Now I'm going to angle it back down and try to get down to the bottom here as I am coming through this dog leg. And then I want to be down here and kind of shorten this arcing front straightaway out as much as I can. And then I'm kind of going to do the same thing and stay down low as I come through the second part of the dog leg. Then when I get up here, again, the same thing. About in here is where I want to kind of start this turn. So I want to start turning it here, even though I am not on, or I'm not coming off the gas. I'm still full throttle, but I start the turn back there. I lift again at this black sign that has all kinds of NASCAR sponsors on it. I lift, I let it drift down to the bottom, and then I get back on the gas and coming off of here, or I want to stay as low as I can through most of 1 and 2, and then as I come to the exit, I'm going to let it drift up and go a little bit above the suggested line. I'm not trying to squeeze it down, because I feel like that squeezes, or that scrubs off speed. You're kind of trying to make the car turn when it really wants to go straight. So I let it drift a little bit above the suggested line, and then I am down here hugging the wall down the backstretch. So that is the lap at Charlotte. Let's go talk about the setup now. So on this setup, this looks more typical of the setups that you see me coming out with now. And as I like to say, I still think I'm getting better and better at this. I think the setups I'm giving you today are better than the setups I did 6 months ago. 6 months from now, I hope they're better than what I'm giving you today. 6 months from now, I hope we have a new game out. But at any rate, I hope I continually get better at this. Nothing real radical on the bumper rebound settings. Roughly, and I run the front weight and wedge about the same number. Um, I am starting to run the left rear spring at 600. I used to always run it about 500 on mile and a half. I found that bumping that up really keeps the car from getting loose off and helps the car as the tires wear to alleviate the loose off condition that you get at a lot of mile and a half tracks. But that's one change that you see me making. I went way up on the tire pressures. I think I was running 50 or 52 on the right sides in my previous setup, and like 20 pounds on the left. Now I'm way up to 56. I feel like on the bigger tracks, the mile and a halfs and bigger, if you get more air pressure in the tires, it helps the car go faster. It seems like it's I don't know exactly how it works, but it's helping the car go faster for sure. So yeah, I went up on the tires quite a bit here. I also went up on the camber settings, and it didn't really seem to affect the tire wear too bad, but it definitely helped the car turn a little bit. So I went up on the camber settings, and that's nice when you get a little more aggressive on the camber without wearing out the tires, because that really helps the car turn a lot. I went down on the sway bar. I was feeling like I was getting a lot of bumpiness or vibration or whatever you want to call it going into the corners when I ran a 1.675 sway bar. I went to a softer sway bar. It's much smoother in the corners, much easier to control. What else? I think I went quite a bit down, probably between half an inch and an inch on these track bars. And again, I always think of track bars working in conjunction with front weight and wedge. If you put the front weight and wedge up higher, what you're going to do is that's going to tighten the car up. If you're going to do that to tighten the car up to get it back in balance, you got to go up on the track bars too, because going up on those track bars loosens it up. So I always think of those as being two things that kind of work together. The grill tape is 50%. You might be able to run 55, especially if it's a short run or a qualifying thing, because I think it takes a while. But I think it takes a while for the engine to get hot. But I think when I did that, I was running like 254 or so, and that's a little hotter than I like. But if you're trying to qualify, you could probably go a little more tape. The wheel lock is 7. I used to always run like a 12 on wheel lock. Now I'm running more like 6 to 8 on the mile and a half and 2 mile tracks. If you're on a controller, I think you'll probably want to bump this up to 10 or 12. I don't really play much with the controller, but I've heard people tell me that the setups, that's really the only thing you need to change a lot of times going from wheel to controller, is you want to increase your wheel lock if you're on a controller. And then last but not least, I fooled around a lot with gearing. I finally settled on a 3-gear setup that's a 1.05 with a 3.07 rear end. That comes out to a final drive ratio of 3.224. So if you were looking at going with a 4-gear setup, the closest you could get to that would be a rear end ratio down here of 3.25. I just felt like that 3.25, it's leaving speed on the table. It gives you great drive off the corner, but I don't feel like you're maximizing your straightaway speed. If you are maybe a little better driver than I am and can carry a little more speed through the corners, you might want to try a 1.15 in 3rd gear and a 2.80, I'm sorry, a 1.10 here and a 2.91 here. That would be a 3.20 gear. That would give you a little more straightaway speed, but you would sacrifice a little drive off the corners. But if you're a little better driver than I am and you can roll the corner, that might work for you. So you might want to try that if you're a little higher skill level than I am. that is pretty much all I got to say about Charlotte. I hope you guys like this setup. I think it'll work better on the long runs. And you didn't really sacrifice any short run speed because you can still get into 29.4s. And I really think that this setup's got a 29.3 in it. I just don't feel like I'm maybe quite skilled enough to get there. But I hit 29.4s and felt like it wasn't a perfect lap. So, but anyway, I've been talking quite a bit. I will wrap this up. Try it out. Let me know what you guys think. And hope it turns lots of fast laps for you. Thank you guys so much for the support. I think I'm up over 2,000 subscribers now, so I think I must be doing something right. I'll keep trying to update setups as I feel like I can get them better. You guys keep giving me the great support, and if you have a problem, let me know. I'll either try to update the setup or try to help you work through it if I can. With that, I'll end it like I always do. Have a great day. Thank you guys for the support. Hope it turns lots of fast laps for you.